Hello, my name is Natalie Turvey and I am Director and Principal Psychologist at Drop of Life Psychology Clinic, plus the author of Unbreakable Relationships for Self-Lovers and Others, and the Director for online psychology called Psychology at Home. And today I'm going to have a little quick chat about 3 tips to have a relationship that is worth it. So obviously I've written a book about unbreakable relationships for self-lovers and others, and the concepts and the principles behind that book is what I would see, the themes I would see over and over and over again in clinic, not only within my practice here at the psychology clinic that I run, but also in the other work that I did over the years. So when I worked in disabilities, when I worked at child safety, when I worked within the forensic system, disabilities, it seemed to come up, the same theme seemed to come up over and over again in my 20 years of experience. So I put together a book that went through the process and system of the themes that I saw over and over again. So number 1, you must invest in your relationship. If you've chosen this person, if you've said, I choose you as my person, as my human, then you must invest. Like you would in anything that you wanted. If you wanted to get ripped at the gym, you would invest in going to the gym every day, working out to the best of your ability, and then seeing progress after a period of time. The same thing if you wanted a beautiful garden. You would invest in that garden to see that the flowers would grow because you'd water them, you'd fertilize them, you'd remove weeds, and you'd do similar things. The same principle applies, the same principle of nature applies to our own human connections as well. If you want to have a relationship that is worth it, you must invest in it. That's number 1. Number 2 is make sure you're okay first. So people want to be around you basically. So I always tell anyone in clinic, your first priority is you, and not in a selfish way, not in a way that is detrimental to others, but in a way that if I'm happy, then I'm good to be around. If I'm okay and I'm in a good place, I feel confident, I feel excited about my life, I'm enjoying things, then I'm actually more fun, more enjoyable to be around. But when I'm not okay, then I'm actually difficult sometimes to be around. So it is your job to make sure you're okay first before you try and fix your relationship, meaning you've got to come from a place where you're okay. You've got to come from a place, no matter what the outcome of that interaction is, you're going to be okay. And that's sort of a whole nother session and a whole nother video, but that is number 2. Make sure you're okay first. And the other last one is to quit the judgment, and that's tough because judgment is probably our biggest hindrance to good communication, because we will instant if someone has a go at us or interacts in a certain way, we normally will jump to a conclusion, and that's what our brain does to try and make our life a little bit easier. And because our brain is this problem-solving machine and it loves shortcuts and it likes to save energy, so it will do things like jump to conclusions, make assumptions, and as a result we end up being judgmental. So it's almost primal in its instinct, but then it's our job to then look at that and go, is that actually true? So my antidote to judgment is to be curious. So curious looks a bit like a little kid when they're curious. They're going, whoa, what is that? What do you mean by that? Like, why are you saying that? Help explain to me why you're saying that, or what that means to you, or why it is that is difficult for you. So get curious with the other person. This could be friend, foe, or lover, what it is that is going on for them, so you can understand it a little bit more, so you come from a completely different perspective. So I hope that was useful, those 3 tips. Invest in it, make sure you're okay first, and remove judgment to have relationships that are worth it. So remember today and tomorrow to be kinder to yourself than anyone else can be.